Hey everyone, it's Teresa. Sorry it's been such a long time since my last video, but today I have some really fun things in store. So we're going to be looking at some of the new stuff from Essential Stencils. They were kind enough to send me their whole summer collection, and I'm going to show you here. They have the silky chickens, some fireworks, some new letters that are, I think they call them a ranch style, and hello, the furry cow. I know now it's a Highland cow, but I still think I like it, the furry cow, and a windmill, and a fun one for your door to yell ding dong. Some new rub-on transfers, perfect for those southern farmhouse styled projects. Some patriotic flowers, a hello sunshine. That one I'll tell you later. God bless America, you guys. Been here for a while, you know I love patriotic. It's a welcome porch leaner that's patriotic. A dog one. I did some dog projects not too long ago, and a couple of way more farmhouse styled sayings. I cannot wait to use all of these. I don't use them all today. Don't worry. I do not do all of them today. And I do use that one though. Some chicken wire, and that one is eucalyptus and sippin', grillin', and chillin'. So we're going to get into the projects now. Alright, so I have a piece of wood. It is about 18 inches long and about 5 3/4 wide. I've already stained it. I did this with the weather wash, and I'll try to remember to post the video down below that I did all the staining of all this stuff, but weather wash is a lot of fun if you guys have never used it before. So I'm going to take the chicken wire and I'm going to go ahead and get it nice and lined up. I wanted to be as like level and even as I could make it. This is obviously a pretty like consistent like repeating pattern, so it does look like I've got it off to the left. Don't worry, I'm going to show you how you can like line it up super easily. And right now I am using the color Smoke from Mud Paint. It is a new to me paint that I am really enjoying. I will share some of the tips and tricks I have for you when it comes to painting with stencils. But right now I'm using one of Essential Stencils' larger stencil brushes, and this is kind of how I was hoping for it to turn out. I wanted it to be super subtle because this is going to serve as my background. So I lifted the stencil to kind of take a look to see how it was going and if there was any spots that needed a little bit more, sprucing up. And so I did that and peeled it off, let it dry completely, let the stencil dry or clean it and dry completely, whatever your preference is. And now I'm going to just realign it. So basically that row on the left already has been painted. So you kind of can't see it very well, but I've painted the row on the left hand side that's on the stencil, and then I went ahead and went through just like I did before with just a very simple up and down pouncing stippling motion. And now I'm going to do the Come As You Are, and now of course I think I meant to do the Country Roads one. I don't know. This one comes in a 2-pack, so you get this Come As You Are and the Country Roads, and these paired with that chicken wire one for a background is absolutely amazing. Like I said, I'm mad I didn't do the Country Roads one because I think that's what my initial thought was, but it's okay. So now I'm going to come in with the Just Black paint from Mud Paint. Like I said, this is new to me. I've got quite a few colors, and I had actually contemplated on selling it, but then decided against it because I wish I had time, but I don't. So I will say now, whenever you are stenciling, some tips and tricks to avoid getting a lot of bleeding. Make sure that your brush is 110% dry. If you use it and it's the slightest bit damp, you will get some bleeding, and you'll see later on in the video I did. At this point right here, my brushes are 100% dry, and I had no problem at all. So make sure they are dry. And I did the same kind of stenciling technique that I did on the previous part of this project, as I will do throughout the entire rest of the project. So I am just going to peel it up with the painter's tape that I use just to kind of make sure that it doesn't, go anywhere. Now this one is reversible, so I am going to do the other side of this sign, and this is the eucalyptus, and I'm going to be using the Mud Paint in the color Sage. It is, I'm trying to think, if you compared it to like the Waverly, the Shadow Sage, it's probably comparable in color to that one. just in case you're kind of trying to get a color comparison. And I'm going to go through and I'm going to just stipple across the whole thing. This one's pattern is a little bit different. It's not like you need to line it up exactly. So when I have a project that's larger, you know, either height or width on than the stencil, it's really easy. You just kind of put it back wherever it makes the most sense, you know, to do the rest of the project. Again, 100% dry brush and a pretty dry brush when it comes to how much paint you're loading it on. That's why I get the, you know, I put the paint onto my brush and then I offload quite a bit of the excess off to the side. If you use vinyl, a lot of times if you save those backers for the vinyl, they are perfect for using for stencil paper. It's not called stencil paper, but it sounds good, right? So just like I did on the front, I'm going to go ahead and tape down the other part of this side to the to do my background. And again, I wanted my backgrounds to be kind of more on the subtle side. You can totally do something, you know, completely different. You can put down a very busy pattern like that chicken wire one, and you could even attempt to do that like on top of wording that's already there. It would turn out great. I can't wait to try more things with these. So now here is a different pack. This one is from the door hanger that's really like, welcome, I hope you like dogs. I do love dogs. I have a new dog. She's been in our family for about 6 months now. Her name is Love. However, this is obviously not going to fit on this whole sign. So keep that in mind whenever you're looking at these different stencils and different anything really, that you can pick things that will give you more uses than just what it says. So obviously on this one, I can use the welcome because I have other letters that would make welcome, but they're way too big for this sign. So I'm just going to use this to make my welcome. And on pretty much all of these projects, I do end up doing 2 coats of the paint, let them dry 100% down in between. I didn't do it, so I ended up getting some bleeding. I'm sharing with you all of the things that I did not do that I should have done that would have resulted in better projects. So this one has a little bit of bleeding. It's not too bad. So what I ended up deciding on this one is I went ahead and filled in all of the slashes and open areas. That way I could really kind of make it look that really pretty cursive lettering. Now I'm going to use some dark wax. This one again is by Mud Paint. If you buy some things from Mud Paint, you can 100% skip this. I know that's not what most people would say about their products that they like and potentially might want to sell. This one, 100% skip it. It is such a strong smell, like chemically kind of smell. Skip it. I have it. I'm going to use it. It's not bad product-wise, but just the smell is awful. I'm going to drill some holes, just pilot holes down in the top part of this little sign, and I'm going to add a couple of these little eye hooks, and I'll add in after that some wired twine. Be super, super, super careful with the wire twine because it is sharp. When you cut it, it is super sharp, and you will have a hole in your finger. Maybe a hole in your finger is a little bit exaggerated, but you know what I mean. And on the eye hooks, depending on where you get these from, I believe these ones are from Amazon. If you get the less expensive ones, they're going to be really thin and you can break them off in your sign really, really easy. So make sure you do a pilot hole. I tried before just to tap them in and then, you know, screw them down, and I break them in the sign every time. So make sure you drill your pilot hole. So I'm going to finish it off by just twisting it off, kind of like the excess around, add a little bit of hot glue. And I mean, this one's pretty much done. So we've got the one side, the come as you are with the chicken wire, and then we have the other side that is the welcome with the eucalyptus. I didn't do the distressing on the other side because I wanted it to be a little different, and I wanted that chicken wire to stay really subtle. Alright, so on to the next one. This is, I believe, a 14-inch round. I want to say it came from Hobby Lobby, so it's not super thick, but it works, right? I'm going to use the measuring mat on a lot of this project to really help and make sure things are, you know, lined up and as straight as possible, at least for me. I have a hard time with that. So I used it to get my tape down, and now I'm using it to kind of paint. And one side of it is the mud paint in, I believe it's called dark navy. I'm not 100%, but I'm pretty sure it's dark navy. And then the DIY paint in it's crimson red. Is that what it's called? No, marquee. And you'll notice here with my little emoji, I messed up the line a little bit. It's all right. I ended up filling it in, so it's okay. Now, you can't have summer projects without some good old Americana type of stuff. So this one is God Bless America, and what I'm using here, because I didn't have my ruler handy, is just one of my little mats that I have from IOD, and it came in very handy. I just wanted to make sure that things were kind of consistent as far as the thickness on where you see America, how it has the line kind of running through it. So I was using that as kind of my gauge. So now I'm coming in with Simply White. This is mud paint's kind of a very neutral white, or a very cool toned white. I don't know. And I'm using again the Essential Stencils stencil brush. Don't mind me. And I'm going through, and again, this one is gonna come out, and I'm gonna just kind of give you a warning here. It does come out like it bled quite a bit. Again, I will tell you, my biggest mistake is not making sure that my brushes were 100% dry. They were wet, so they made the paint wet, and then that made them bleed. You'll notice the first project that I did, the Come As You Are, was 100% crisp. These ones, a little less than crisp. So take my word for it. Make sure your brushes are dry. It's easy enough to clean it up. I'm just going to get a small detail brush and just kind of go along and clean up any little bit of detail. And that a lot of time is why I will do a light color on top of a dark color. You'll have to do maybe like a little bit more than one coat to make sure that it's dark enough, when it's on the dark color, or opaque enough, I guess I should say. But the mud paint is opaque, but definitely 100% needs to be a dry brush. All right, so now I've got the stars. This comes with this stencil, the God Bless America. It is meant to be a door hanger, and my stars were pretty bleedy too. It's okay. I'm going to distress it, so I wasn't too crazy worried about it. And again, like I was mentioning just a minute ago, when it came to that wax, holy moly, it is strong smelling. If smell does not bother you, it's perfectly fine. The product itself works just nicely. I would say if you think the smell it has a small possibility of bothering you, you'll definitely smell it. Otherwise, I would probably recommend the DIY brand wax. I love it. It has no smell. None. Zero. So keep that in mind. I mean, if you're shopping around for waxes, you guys know, if you've been here for a while, you know that I like to add, the dark wax, the black wax, the white wax, any wax. I love them all. So I definitely am a wax connoisseur, if you will. I have tried my fair share. And so on this one, after I did all of my distressing down with the wax, I am going to get everything lined back up on my measuring mat and use it to kind of find a good spot to put my holes. So I'm going to make sure that it's in the same spot on both sides, because wouldn't that not be, that would not work, would it? So I'm going to just use a pencil to find my spots, and I'm just going to drill them with my drill. I had to go outside and grab it, and I did not record the drilling part, but I mean, it works as a drill does, right? So I drilled down my pilot holes, and now I'm going to just add a little bit of tape to the wired jute twine to make sure that it goes through the hole. Otherwise, the jute kind of like almost accordions on top of the wire. So just be cognizant of that. Either grab a little bit of hot glue or grab the painter's tape to add to the other side of it. So I'm gonna just not weed it. I'm just going to go ahead and feed it through the hole, and then once I get it there, we'll kind of tie a knot and get it all twisted and make it to where it's not going to go anywhere. As you probably can hear from the other side of my craft room door, my puppy does not appreciate me shutting the door. So I'm going to tie a knot on one side, and then I will twist it to keep it kind of in place. You saw a little remnants of the other project. I didn't line up the wording right because this particular grouping of these door hangers, I believe that they're more or less made for a 16-inch wood round as opposed to the 14-inch that I am using. The God Bless America, I was able to get it to fit perfectly fine. And I had it I had checked it. I did do that. I checked it beforehand when I was doing this really cute sunflower one, but I didn't pay close enough attention and my word ran over. So it was just going to say hell sunshine. And I was like, well, that is not what I was going for. That is, however, how it feels in Florida in the summer. However, not cute. Nobody wants that. So I did just twist this with one of these little, it's almost like a clothespin, and it just kind of helps you get a good grip on it and get it nice and secured. Here's how it turned out though. This side, beautiful. The other side, obviously I need to go back and fix it. That'll be a future video. This one, I tell you what, it must have been time for me to be done. These are some of the rub-on transfers that came out with this release, and these are so beautiful. So easy to do, so much so that my camera recorded for 30 seconds, and then it said, oh, nope, it's too hot, I'm done, and it turned off. So I applied it like you would a rub-on transfer. You'll have to take my word on it because my camera turned off. Here's how it turned out though. It turned out amazing. I think this turned out so pretty. I love this set of rub-on transfers. Love them, love them, love them. I think you can tell. I love them. Anyways, that is going to be my last project though. Thank you so much for stopping by. I'm going to have essential stuff listed down below. I am one of their ambassadors. I do get a small commission if you buy anything. If you have any questions about any of the stuff, project-wise, product-wise, please leave it down in the comment section. I'll be happy to answer you. And I hope that you are having a wonderful day, and I will see you next time.